Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Office Hours with myself, Fr Stu, Wilson Smith, here at the St. Thomas More Newman Center, the Catholic Campus Ministry for The Ohio State University in Columbus, Ohio. Good to be back with you. You may have noticed I wasn't here last week. I'm sorry about that. It's pretty egregious. What happened is it was Thanksgiving week and weekend, and the office here was not open. And so without the office, it's very difficult to do office hours. That's the primary, we're facing there. I don't like to miss too often. Maybe what we'll do is we'll try to make up for that in some way at some point. Maybe I'll just start doing, more frequent, shorter. I don't know. We'll see. It's flexible. We're still working on it. It's all good. It's okay. It's fine. So today we're getting close to Advent, as you may know from your own church experience and your own reflection. This is the last week also. The liturgical calendar is Friday of the 34th week of ordinary time. So it's coming to an end, and a new liturgical season will begin, which means that for those of us who use one of these things, an ordo, to help us through Mass, this is the little book that tells you when you're about to celebrate Mass what color to use. It tells you what the readings should be. It suggests various parts of the missal that you might pray the Mass from. It tells you if it's a particular saint's day, and it also gives you directions for those of you who pray the Liturgy of the Hours, info on where you are in the Liturgy of the Hours. So this book, it's over for that, and then we go and we pick up this guy here. That's what we're coming to. So new liturgical season, very good, very exciting. So apart from the books, if you have, we're going to talk a little bit about Advent today. If you have any Advent questions that you have or issues you want to bring up, you're welcome to put them in the comments here. And if not, I may end up addressing it or something like it anyway. But I may as well make use of this initial introductory period where I ramble about different things. So things are good. We're basically prepping for Advent here. Tonight we've got, we have First Friday tonight for the student community, hosted by BCAT. So this is like a time of preparation, and there'll be scripture readings and rosary praying. It'll just be lovely. So that's at 7 p.m. tonight here at the Newman Center for those of you in the area. And on Monday here at the Newman Center at 7:30, we'll have an Advent reconciliation service. So that'll be a nice opportunity if you wanted to come to reconciliation, if it hadn't been a while, if you're just trying to prepare spiritually for Advent. That can be a good way to do that. So it'll just be a brief period, a little service, and then we'll have plenty of priests here to hear confessions. Looking forward to that. Advent is a time of many things, of anticipation, certainly, waiting for Jesus to arrive, I said anticipation, hope, certainly hope. We got your hope there. It's a hopeful season. It's very different. It's different from Lent in that sense that it's not strictly penitential, though penance is a part of it, because you're being called to repentance to prepare for the arrival of Jesus. But it's a really hopeful and joyful time. Especially, when it gets to that third week, Gaudete Sunday, it's, wear the rose and the rose-colored vestments, and you light the rose candle. Why do I just struggled with the word candle? That's strange. And, that's the time of saying, oh, we're almost here. And it's very exciting. So that's sort of the spirit of Advent. It's a very happy season. It is to clamp down on the Christmas music in the stores and whatnot, but I don't know, it's like you'd rather be in a joyful mood than a more somber one. I think you can be solemn without being somber, if that makes sense. We should be people of hope at this juncture and in our liturgical life. So one thing I did get was a general question about getting into the season more intentionally. That's fair. I think I touched on this a little bit in our last time we got together. Oh, thank you, Robert. How do you even get into Advent? It's like it seems like something that just sort of happens and you experience passively. It's like the liturgical season is coming, whether you're ready for it or not, and it's like, well, how do you enter into it more intentionally, I guess is the point. So I do have like a couple resources to share with you, and in turn those resources split off into other resources and recommendations and things that can be helpful for us. One thing is that it was a different person that asked me this question. Somebody said, they said I'm single, and it's like, it's one thing when you're in a family and you're somewhere near home and you have like a tradition of some sort, Advent traditions. It's like, it's one thing to keep that up because there's other people to like, I don't take part in that and to hold each other accountable, or to have a tradition that says on this day is when the creche goes up, and on this day the wreath goes up. And what I say to that is, it's not like, so like singleness is not a modern innovation or something. A lot of people throughout history have been alone and unmarried, or don't have roommates or housemates or whatever. And shouldn't stop you from hopefully trying to enter into this and prepare your home to make it a prayerful Advent space. So, don't feel like, get your own wreath. Go out and find yourself your own little wreath. Get 3 little purple candles, 1 pink one, and find times to enjoy those things being lit. Some prayerful times, maybe in the morning. The first thing you do in the morning is light whatever week it is. So light the purple candle. Just enjoy that, even if it's while you're getting ready. Just an awareness to start your day, like I'm in Advent. And at the close of the day, if you like to read before bed or something like that, just light that candle and let that prayerfulness kind of permeate your regular daily life. And likewise, you don't have to wait for other people or a family or for anything else to get your own little creche or manger. You could get your own little one and hold off on putting Jesus in there. I think that's the tradition until Christmas. At least it was in my house. Or if you're a crafty person, if you like crafts, I've seen some lovely mangers people built on their own that are quite impressive. Point being, I don't know, sometimes you can get the impression that this season or other traditions of Christianity are like all family oriented and there's nothing you can do if you're alone. But it's like, Christ came for everybody, and you were just important and loved and known and whatnot to Jesus as anybody else. And so why not enter into it as fully as anybody else? This is what I think. So some resources of things you want to do, aside from those things, is pray the scriptures as we're going along. I think especially, even if you're struggling to find time to do the daily thing, because there are daily mass readings, at least for the Sundays, to try to maybe read ahead a little bit. Let's say on the Friday, prepare for the Sunday readings. And then when you actually get to Mass and hear the readings, you've already kind of meditated on it a little bit. You've read it, a little bit of what to expect. And the priest or deacon may or may not say something that lines up with what you thought, but then you're just the whole understanding can be away. So it's just nice because then you're prepared and entering into it intentionally. In terms of praying the scriptures, the USCCB has some good stuff on this that you can go to. Let me just paste the link here. I have to make sure I press enter and not the finish button by accident. That's been a problem in the past. There you go. There's the USCCB. That's the Bishops' Conference, United States Conference of Catholic Bishops. If you go to their page, they've got some good stuff on, like they've got this Advent calendar thing, and you can click on it. It gives you a little prayer, a little meditation, and sometimes something actionable that you can do that day. And that's pretty handy. And even if you didn't do that, you still have access to the daily Mass readings, and so that can kind of help you prepare. So you want to do that. Pray the scriptures, experience that sense of anticipation as it builds, and you really can get that through the scriptures. And another thing is service, and it's like sometimes this is another thing that's just treated as like, well, that's just a nice Christmas time thing to do, and it's like, of course that is. But I think a good question to ask ourselves is, how does service prepare for Jesus coming? We often talk about Advent as like preparing for a special visitor of sorts, and so we're trying to prepare our home. If you had a special guest, like if I was coming to your house and you really wanted to make me happy and comfortable, you may get me my favorite root beer. You may line up. I don't know. You may sacrifice your dislike of Matlock to watch Matlock. That's a very peculiar instance, but again, this is we're all different people. And if you had a guest room or something, you'd make that as comfortable as possible, et cetera, et cetera. Whatever you do when you have like somebody that's coming to visit. And you're preparing to arrive. And so the way to think about this is just that what Jesus wants is not any of those particular comforts. What he delights and desires most is a world that looks like the kingdom, the kingdom that he's coming to try and build. He's happy when we act like the people who follow him, when we behave like Christians, when we serve those that he has whose flesh he has taken on, who identifies with. We just had Matthew's reading on Christ, the solemnity of Christ the King of the universe, and and that was all about how he profoundly identifies with the poor and with the imprisoned, and so whether you just want to look at the needs of your community, and it may be needing help in a soup kitchen or something like that, but it also may be visiting the elderly and people who are isolated and maybe can't leave their homes. And you don't have to get, terribly creative sometimes. It's like there may be, even within your own family or group of friends, someone that is alone often. So if you can go spend some time with them and provide them with a sense of connection that really is the presence of Christ for people, and you can sort of be there and just hang out and take in the Advent season with a bit of hot cider or whatever. It's like it's just a way of living out our Christian faith, and in that way preparing for Advent. All right, so that's good enough. So the other thing that I'll leave you with, great set of resources. Now, am I biased on this a little bit? This is from Busted Halo. Busted Halo is a ministry of the Paulist Fathers, but the resources they have are just excellent. One of them is pardon me one second, I'll click away so I can get the link, is an Advent in 2 minutes video. And they recently updated this, so let me just post, that's the most updated video of the Advent in 2 minutes. So to start your Advent, you could just watch this video first and then dig into the rest of the resources. Advent calendar, if you scroll down, called Daily Jolts, and they have little meditations and different things like that that can be really helpful. So definitely check those out. And then the final thing that I'll leave you with is, and this is really, it may seem obvious, I don't know, but like say you go a week or two and you've seen this video or you've looked at other resources or whatever, and you feel like, boy, I really didn't get into this, and I guess it's too late this year. I'll just give it, I'll give it my all next year. Instead of doing that, just start where you are. If you're 2 weeks in, then just dive in. Don't wait till next year, because it's really never too late. You really just want to experience as much of this as you can, so that Christmas doesn't just come as a shock or surprise, but that you really have at least some chance to prepare spiritually for the arrival of Christmas. All right, I'm going on too long again, so that's enough of that. If you have any questions, as usual, you can hit them in the comments here. You can email me, you can tweet at me, whatever might be helpful, whatever is your mode of communication. You can, is there a verb yet for Instagram? Is it like, do you Insta somebody? I don't know. I have to think about that. Oh, I can't spell Buckeye. It's really sad. There's my email. There's my Twitter there, etc., etc. Anyway, all right, everybody. Hope you have a blessed Advent. Look forward to seeing you all again soon. God bless you. Peace.